Hey guys. Hey, Becca Scoops here. Thank you for joining me this morning, this evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is. We got some things we need to talk about. Yes, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is back in the news. She has decided to go on a podcast with Tori Spelling, otherwise known as the Beverly Hills 90210 starlet, who's doing a podcast now. And we'll get into why Tori would have Gypsy on her podcast. We'll get into that in a moment. Uh, Today, Tori dropped part one, and I wanted to go over a few things that I just thought it made my blood boil. My blood was boiling, and it's hot enough here in California. So I didn't need that, didn't need it. So let's get right to it. The first clip, we're going to take a listen, and then I will react.
I've entered a completely new phase in my life where it's like that was my past. I am completely moving forward with everything in my life, with motherhood and
All right. Well, she's moving forward. She's moving forward. Forget about the past. We don't want to think about the past. We don't want to think that let's not remember that I killed my mother and I got an autistic man to do the deed and he's in prison for life. And now I'm out living my best life. Let's move forward.
I just have so much going for me that like nobody got anywhere in life by kept on looking in the rearview mirror.
Right. Do not look back. Do not look at, the sins of our past. There's nothing to learn there. Do not look at that.
So I'm like, I just have my eyes forward.
Definitely. And I mean, you don't want that to define you.
Sorry, Tori. Sorry. I'm going to jump in here about what defines people and what doesn't define people. This whole platitude. Oh, don't let it define you, girlfriend. No, some things in life do define us. Some choices we make do define us. And I would say plotting your own mother's murder and getting an autistic man to do the deed and he ends up in prison for life while you're out, that's how you are defined now going forward. Forevermore. Forevermore.
No,
Because
like,
there's so much
wanted
more
that.
to any human than
Right.
what their past has offered them up.
Mhm.
But do you, and this sounds really cynical and I'm sorry, but do you feel like, and God, I don't even want to liken this to my situation, but I'm trying to
I don't want to talk about me, but let's talk about me.
find ways to connect with you, obviously. Like your future, do you feel like that kind of opened up doorways in a positive way? I mean, let's talk positive about the situation.
Right.
There's
I mean, hell yes. Forget about that you murdered your mother and you had someone stab her 17 times. Forget it. Let's twist that into something freaking positive. Oh my God.
Right.
so much negative.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, would I have been an actress and my father didn't open the door and give me
Hell no, Tori, you wouldn't have been, okay?
a platform, give me a TV show? No, maybe not. Do you
Right.
feel like
In the same token, Gypsy Rose, you wouldn't have a platform if you didn't bludgeon your mother to death, okay?
is there any positive to what has happened? That you are given opportunities now, maybe to help others, maybe to, fulfill dreams that you thought,
Right.
gosh, everyone's focused on my past, but
Is Tori for real? Is she on drugs? What's happening?
is there a good way?
I mean, I feel like I've been trying to do that for so long. When I was in prison, it was so difficult to be able to sort of rebrand myself.
There's the word. There's the word I was looking for. Rebrand. See, Gypsy? No, 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 no. Again, that path, being a celebrity, is closed to you. You are infamous. All right. You will never be someone that people look up to. I'm sorry. That door closed when you plotted your own mother's demise.
Because it's like I was still in the middle of living in it. And now that I'm entering into a new phase in my life, I feel like only now could I start to kind of look back and say, yeah, I mean, I came from, I became well known from a tragic situation on
Yeah.
both ends. It's like I'm a victim and I'm a
Don't forget, I'm a victim. Big V on my forehead.
perpetrator. So, getting out of the shadow of that is the hardest thing, to be able to have a platform to
You don't get to get out of the shadow of that particular sin. Okay? You just don't. This is what I know, is that when you do certain things and you make certain choices, certain doors become closed to you forevermore. So I'm sorry. You're trying so hard, and you've got a lot of idiots around you that are saying, "Yeah, go girl, go girl." Okay? But it's never going to work because of what you're known for. And you're not honest about that crime also.
which to stand on that is respected. It's like I feel like it is only whenever I can break out of that mold that defines me. And it's like I don't want to be defined, but unfortunately I am. The reality is I am. And so what is the course of action moving forward? It's taking accountability and saying, you know what, yes, I am branded a murderer.
Oh, oh, little momentum going now. We're going to go ahead and say it. I am branded a murderer because for the last year we've been telling her, you got to say it. Okay? You got to say it. If you don't say it, and if you don't take accountability, this isn't going to work. I'm sorry. It's not enough. And I'll tell you why in a minute.
And I did do the crime. I did do the time. Um, Owning up to my actions is what it's all about, and saying I'm not perfect. I made wrong choices, but this is what I'm doing today to try to move forward. I can never
She acts like the choices to murder her mother is like, you know what? So I chose to shoplift at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to go ahead. Look, okay, it was wrong. It wasn't right. I get it. No, it's not the same thing. All right. It's not the same thing. You did what psychiatrists and psychologists have labeled one of the most heinous crimes known to mankind. One of the most heinous crimes known to mankind. Parricide. The killing and murdering of one's own parent. It's only second to killing your own child. All right? You're in that category. And so this isn't just shoplifting at Hobby Lobby. All right? This is one of the most heinous acts one can do.
bring back the life that was taken. I can never unhurt the people that were hurt.
The life that was taken was the woman who gave you life.
But I can at least try and do some good with it. And I've been trying to break out into advocacy. And I've been trying to figure out what that looks like for me.
No, that'll never happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. You cannot fool the public. All right? People know you're inauthentic. They feel it. They know it. They know you're only doing this to make a buck. This is your new grift. Okay? And it's not going to work.
What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about prison reform.
You are not passionate about prison reform. Where's Nadatha Walker? That woman, Nadatha Walker, if you guys don't know who she is, go over to TikTok. I'll put her link in the description box, is passionate, truly passionate about prison reform. You're not.
I'm passionate about the fact that there is so, if anybody's watched my show, they can tell that I've gone through it with haters online. So I'm kind of stepping into the realm of saying, hey, I'm experienced in being cyberbullied.
Get off social media and you won't be cyberbullied. And by the way, you're a cyberbully, and I can attest to that myself. All right. This isn't about me, but let me just say this. You put out a disgusting video, reposted it to your 9.5 million followers about me a few months back. But hey, you're not a cyberbully, right, Gypsy?
And I don't think it's right. And there's some things in the system that need to change to have better preventative measures from cyberbullying. So it's kind of
Yeah, we need measures against you and your ilk and your minions.
like, I have a voice. Now let's figure out a way to direct it somewhere in a positive manner. And I wouldn't have this platform if I didn't, do what I did.
Well, what did you do? What did you do?
But it's like you can't change the past. So what can you do?
Go away. Get off social media. Stop trying to make yourself happen. You're not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. All right. Let's go to the next clip.
I don't know, you might already do this. Do you talk to people, or are you an advocate for Munchausen proxy? Like,
Huh, huh. Tori's obviously done extensive research, right? Extensive research. You can tell by the way she pronounces Munchausen by proxy. Let's listen to it again. That Tori was very well prepared for this interview. And this is why this is the most ridiculous interview I've heard in a long time.
Munchausen proxy, like
Mhm.
working Munchausen proxy, like
Mhm.
working with people that have that.
I have talked to several victims that have shared their story. That's why I open myself up on social media, is because there has been so many.
How do you open? You mean you open yourself up on social media? You do weirdo like doing this? Is this opening yourself up on social media? Is this advocacy work? What is this? You trying to be a fitness person? I mean, it's yeah. Okay.
People that have come to me and then shared their story on a personal level, and I didn't blast them out.
No. Gypsy would never put anyone on blast. Of course, she didn't put me on blast. And what about the 16-year-old girl? Gypsy Rose Blanchard reposted. So if you don't know, I'm sure all of you do know, but just in case you don't know, this is a young girl who said, Gypsy, I understand why you did it. She was having some kind of a trauma, some kind of a thing. I don't want to really get too much into that because she is a 16-year-old girl, but Gypsy put her on blast and reposted it to her 9.5 million followers. She exploited her. Why did Gypsy do it? Well, because Gypsy's trying to show us, look, see, people do think like what I did was okay. See, what I did was okay because this girl's saying she understands why I did it, because she's a 16-year-old girl full of hormones and whatever else, and she gets why I did it. Yeah, good move, Gypsy. Great move. You wouldn't put anyone on blast, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's your story to tell. If you want me to, it's your story to tell. Story on a personal level. And I didn't blast them out. I'm like, it's your story to tell. If you want me to, bring more awareness to your situation, I will do that. But whatever you say stays between you and I. That's just that kind of safe space that I.
Gypsy, you are not equipped to talk to anyone about psychological issues. You have no education. You are a sociopath. You murdered your own mother. And no, you are not equipped to speak with anyone who's in a psychological distress or trauma or anything like that. I'm not even equipped, okay? And I worked for many years as a psychiatric nurse, all right? So this is the danger of someone like Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who thinks she's going to turn herself into this advocate. Why? Because she wants to make a lot of money.
I have created for people. But I do want to get more involved with organizations, and I have already had several conversations with Munchausen by
Gypsy, if you want to help people, if you truly are passionate about helping people, something that would be up your alley, something that you could handle and that would fulfill that passion, that deep passion you seem to think that you're trying to convince us that you have, go down to your local soup kitchen and volunteer your time. And do not bring a camera and do not tell anybody about it. Do it. Okay? That's one way. That's something you could do where you won't hurt anyone. You won't be giving anyone advice. Go down to the soup kitchen and help out the homeless people. Do not bring your cell phone. Do not put it on TikTok. Do not put it on your mommy vlogging channel. Do it because you have a passion to help people, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
proxy experts to kind of lead me in the direction and also make me more knowledgeable, because I can only go on my personal experience. There are so
Right.
many different people that have gone through Munchausen by proxy, but had a different experience.
All of this talk about Munchausen by proxy is ridiculous at face value. Her mother was never diagnosed with it. Her mother didn't have it, in my humble opinion. Okay. I can't diagnose. All right. But I do know that there were two forensic psychologists that said they really questioned Dee Dee had it because of this. For you to be a true case of Munchausen by proxy, okay, according to the DSM-5, that third little prong down here, the deceptive behavior occurs even when there's no obvious gain or benefit, no external rewards. This is what this means. If Dee Dee wasn't going to get any gain from it, if she wasn't going to get any monetary gain, any gain getting a house like from Habitat from Humanity, getting a gain like getting life flights, getting a gain like getting trips to Disneyland and meeting celebrities. If she wasn't going to get any of that, would she have done it? This so-called Munchausen, making Gypsy appear ill, making Gypsy ill, making what Gypsy says having over 30 unwarranted surgeries that we can never find anywhere in her medical records. And she has never produced them to show, look, here's all of the procedures. Look at these hundreds of procedures that I've had. Would she have done it without that? The answer is no. And how do we know that? Because how detectives find out anything about a victim is they do a history on them. They run the record and they find that Dee Dee had some petty crimes, that going back to Louisiana, she was passing bad checks, that going back, she was putting in fraudulent medical stuff to try to get financial gain. It was always about the grift with Dee Dee to make her and Gypsy have a better life. Okay. You can judge that however you want to judge it. But by God, the woman didn't deserve to be bludgeoned to death over that. Okay. So, this whole thing, what Gypsy needs to do is she needs to embrace the truth and say, you know what? Maybe my mom didn't have Munchausen. Maybe you guys are right. But she won't. She won't because she wants to be the perpetual victim. That's what she wants to be. All right. Let's Let's go on to the next clip here.
I grew up with a mother that said that she saw, shapes and shadows and heard voices. So it's like I knew that she had a lady that would come to the house, and this is when we.
Now, this is something new. I think that Gypsy did kind of mention somewhere else. She's been trying to have her mom diagnosed with these are called psychotic features. If you see or hear things that aren't there, that's usually some kind of a schizophrenia going on, or it's drug induced by, you can also hallucinate based on if you just take drugs. That means you wouldn't have a mental illness, but it's inducing those symptoms. Okay. So, this is a very serious these are very serious symptoms. People just don't walk around with schizophrenia and don't end up in the ER or don't end up in a psychiatric ER because it's a really bad mental illness. Okay. But Gypsy's trying to let us believe that her mother was having auditory and visual hallucinations.
Lived in Louisiana. So I may have been 13, 14 years old. And I knew there was a lady that would come to the house to talk to her, but I still didn't understand the scope of, who that lady was. And she was a therapist and her psychiatrist. So
Psychiatrists don't make home visits, honey. They just don't. This isn't 600-pound life Dr. Now. Okay. No, they just do not go to your home. All right. A social worker might come out. All right. But no, your psychiatrist is not ding donging your doorbell. Okay.
when we moved to Missouri, she didn't follow up with her care. And she wasn't put on her medication because she wasn't seeing anyone anymore. And so it's like that is where the
There is nothing in Dee Dee's background that I have seen after researching this case for over a year that tells me Dee Dee had any kind of psychotic disorder. Okay. Mental illness, possibly. Depression, possibly. Bipolar, possibly. All of those things. But a psychotic disorder? No. No.
system failed her is I feel like if she had been put on medication, if she had the support system that she needed, I feel like things would have been very different.
Right. And at what point did you realize that you weren't sick?
I mean, honestly, I always knew that I could walk. And I talk about this in my book, My Time to Stand.
My time to tand.
I knew that I could walk, but it's kind of like growing up, my mom said that I had all these medical issues, starting off with sleep apnea, then a seizure disorder from birth. So
She did. She did have that. She was born with microcephaly, which is a significantly smaller skull. It's a big deal. That's how they knew she had some kind of a genetic disorder. Okay.
from infancy. So growing up, it was sort of distorted what I knew that I had and what I didn't know. It wasn't until my later teen years that I started to kind of piece together, well, I haven't had a seizure. I don't feel like I have epilepsy. And then it wasn't until I got arrested that I knew the full scope of I'm perfectly healthy.
I'm perfectly healthy. Really? That's odd. Let's go over a few things. Okay. Let's go over a few things. Here's from a sleep study. In this sleep study, it says in summary, the study revealed, this is from Gypsy's medical records, the study revealed an evidence of significant nocturnal hypoventilation resolved with the use of the nasal CPAP at 5 centimeters water. So what happened is Gypsy spent the night. I can't remember how old she was when this happened. She had several sleep studies. This one, I'm just using this one to reveal that no, she wasn't totally healthy. There were issues, okay? Could she walk? Yes. Again, Gypsy, I'm sorry, Dee Dee was doing a grift, okay? She was doing a grift. There's no doubt about it. Even when I read the medical records and go over them, I can see where she's lying about certain stuff, okay? But at the same time, Gypsy had issues from birth. And here is a sleep study where she needed the CPAP, okay, to have her O2 levels, her oxygen levels be, and up here it says to the very top, the patient spent all the time with oxygen sats above 95 with an average oxygen saturation varying the REM, and the non-REM sleep is talking about, and then 97.5, 97.9 respectively. Those are good numbers, but that's the oxygen saturation in her blood, okay? And the only way she's getting that oxygen saturation in her blood when she's sleeping is that she has to have this CPAP machine on, is what this medical record states, okay? Is it like a huge deal? No, it's not like a huge deal. She's not going to die, but it's showing there's something going on with this patient. This isn't right, that she should have to have this oxygen on at night. A lot of these disorders, a lot of these childhood things, you can outgrow. Okay. And here's just another portion uh, proving that she had the microcephaly. Okay. It's known from birth. Okay. One other thing. Um, Listen to this.
After she divorced Rod, Didi moved back with us. And at night, Gypsy had a machine on. The alarm would come on when she stopped breathing. So you had to wake her up. Once you wake her up, the machine would stop.
Why would that's Gypsy's grandfather. Why would he lie about that? He's actually having that memory. He is having that memory. There's no, come on. It's not lying. So at night, he remembers the alarm going on, that you'd have to wake her up, jolt the baby awake. Okay. She had breathing issues. I don't go with the whole thing that, Dee Dee was the perfect mom and blah, blah, blah. No, I don't go with all that. Okay. But again, Gypsy was not perfectly healthy like she's trying to sell to the public.
I think I said the wrong name.
Oh, you're fine. It's kind of a hard word to say. So
It is definitely. But you believe, like deep down in your soul, is that what your mom had?
I do. Even the doctors had put in the medical records, mother is suspected of having Munchausen by proxy. And that's unfortunately where the system is failing, is there's not enough.
Okay.
And what happens now when you feel sick? Do you doubt yourself?
No, I mean,
So
typically,
ingrained in you?
typically I just get like the common cold. But I am hesitant to like go to doctors. I feel like I was the same way in prison. I wasn't one of those inmates that would go to the sick bay for anything.
Okay, Gypsy. All right. I don't know if there's anything else
I
on
just don't
this
understand how doctors didn't
here we go.
see that you were healthy. Or if they did, she would just take you to another doctor?
Yes. So that is very common, with parents with Munchausen by proxy. So
I did not see in the medical records that I had access to where Dee Dee was doctor shopping. I did not see that. And the video that Mitch and I are working on right now is going to address some of that stuff. I did not see that. She's using that because she's heard that's what these Munchausen people do, is they go from doctor to doctor to doctor. I didn't see that. She stuck pretty much to the same medical centers.
All the test results were coming back normal.
I just showed you they weren't coming back normal. I don't know why she continues to lie about that. Again, she had the microdeletion. We're going to get into a little bit more. She can talk about that more later, which is kind of crazy. And you can tell Tori doesn't know about it when she talks about it.
So it is very questionable, and I still question it to this day. Like, why is the test results coming back normal, but you're going off of just what my mother said alone?
Yeah, see, that doesn't happen. See, doctors don't do procedures and surgeries when tests are coming back normal. Okay? They don't do it. That's crazy. They like their license. They don't want to be sued. And I have you saying in an interview you couldn't get a lawyer to take your case. Oh, let's go to the next clip.
And I'm just like, I'm choosing to never let my daughter go through anything like what I went through.
I feel like when any of us have kids, we definitely, the mother-daughter relationship is one of the most complicated ones. Like it's definitely different than a mother and their son, as you'll see. Do you want more kids?
I do. But we will have to use IVF.
Oh, why is that? Wait a minute. You have to use IVF if you're going to have more children? Well, that sounds strange. Huh.
For our next one, because the one medical condition that I actually do have, it's called microdeletion.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like Tori, okay, so yeah, I'm perfectly healthy, but I can't actually conceive kids without going through IVF because I got like this. I don't know. It's not really a big deal. Just, yeah, it's not a big deal.
1Q21.1. So it's just a long word for
It's a long word. It's really nothing. I'm unscathed. I'm healthy. Don't know. I know I look weird. No, it's not because of that. It's not. No. And then what? Having more kids? No, we're just gonna have to do this thing. We're just gonna. It's fine. It's fine.
missing a small piece in each of my first chromosome. So that is something that could potentially be passed down.
I wonder if Tori's like thinking, how did I miss this? I'm wondering if she's smart enough. I doubt it, but if she's smart enough to like start to put the pieces together, like, well, wait a minute. She told me she was fine. And now she can't have kids like the normal way. She's got some kind of medical condition. What?
To every child that I have, every child that I have has a 50-50 shot of having it. Aurora has been tested and she came back negative, thank God.
Thank God. Thank God, because this is a big deal, right? So we're thanking God that our daughter didn't have it because it's kind of a big deal.
So it was not passed to her. But as a preventative measure, we will go through IVF for our next one.
Do you want a boy?
We do want to.
So that's all you ask? That's your follow-up question, Tori? I don't know what I was expecting. One
boy, one girl.
Let's laugh.
Perfect formula.
Yeah. So that's that clip. All right. Let's go on to this one.
Wait,
I
who
want to do
teased
it.
you? You didn't see anybody.
On my nose. And finally I was like, you know what? I want to do
teased
it.
you? You didn't.
Gypsy's claiming that people were making fun of her big fat nose and teased her a lot. And Tori's like, well, wait a minute. You said you didn't see anyone. So who would be teasing you, Gypsy?
See anybody?
No, my mom used to.
Oh, you're mean, wicked witch, horrible mom. Yeah, okay.
My mom, yeah, let's go back into trauma.
Let's go back into trauma. Huh, funny.
But yeah, my mom would
It's
point out
funny.
things on my body that, and just like make fun of me. So yeah.
Yeah, she's terrible, horrible woman, made me sick, almost killed me. I had to kill her. She was going to kill me. I had to kill her. And then, you know what else? She made fun of me. She also made fun of me.
But I'm not gonna
What else would
say
she
here
point
talking
out?
about all the drama.
Gosh, our mothers can fuck us up so much. Oh,
What, Tori? Our mothers can fuck us up so much. Surprised I didn't kill my own mother. Oh my God. I mean, are these two for real? Are these two like are they, if we like added their like IQ levels together, would we get into the triple digits? I don't think so.
No.
what else did she say that was not good on you?
Well, it's like my thighs. She used to say I have thunder thighs and stuff like that.
I'm just making this episode go along. Yeah, she said I had thunder thighs, but actually that's Ken. Ken actually just told me that yesterday, but fuck it. I'm just gonna say it was my mom now.
Is that just her generation
that,
though, and
so-
not knowing how, and no
No.
filter? No.
No, but like for Aurora,
Look,
like
now I'm
always,
defending your mom. Like, wait,
Well, someone has to, Tori. Someone has to defend the woman. God knows her daughter's not.
but
no, I mean it might be. Like it's just one of those things that like I don't know. I think that my mom's whole like MO was try and take away any sort of femininity, any sort of
Oh, that's right. Your mom never let you wear dresses. Your mom didn't let you dress up. Your mom didn't let you use wigs. Your mom didn't let you have the princess dresses. Your mom basically made you all masculine. You had to wear like, you had to look like a guy. I'm so tired of this lie.
I feel pretty, I feel confident. And that's how like she would knock me down is by keeping me in this world of like, I'm not pretty. I'm not enough. I'm not this. And so coming out of prison, I had like hardly any self-esteem.
She, I just can't. I just, the woman was murdered, and then it's like she gets murdered over and over and over again every time Gypsy opens her mouth.
And also like coming out of prison, I got on social media and there was all these people judging me and basically making me a celebrity overnight. And I'm like, I'm not a celebrity.
I'm making me a celebrity overnight. And I'm saying, look, no. I'm like going, no, 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 no. I'm like going, guys, no, I am not a celebrity. Stop it. Stop making me a celebrity.
I don't think of myself as a celebrity. I'm just a person and I didn't expect.
And I'm not trying to be a celebrity. I'm not trying to have a mommy vlogging channel. I'm not trying to do all these weird stuff, on TikTok, trying to get brand deals and stuff. I'm not trying to do that. Why would I try to do that?
To come out to such a big platform. And so trying to do like little cute selfies and stuff like that, I learned really fast that there are people that will not take their shoe off to tell you you have a big ass nose.
Oh my God. There's mean people on the internet? Who? Oh my gosh.
Like,
yeah. So social media is like evil.
it
Evil.
can be.
They can, yes, it can be a very positive experience and empowering, and you can create your own platform.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's the end of that clip. There's one other clip. I don't know there's much on this other clip, but let's go ahead.
Didn't really know that there was. I never knew and didn't have a proxy expert. And the one question I kept having that I never knew and didn't have any clarification on is, was my mother aware of what she was doing?
Yeah, you were all aware of what she was doing, Gypsy. You were aware because here you are at this audiologist appointment and you're malingering. Okay? Here it says it. She felt that Gypsy was possibly malingering or not fully cooperating today. All right? So, and this isn't the only place that it says it in your medical records. All right? It was a grift. It was a grift. All right? So, I just okay.
There, that culpability there. And the expert told me, yes, she was aware. People that have that are aware of what they're doing. So unfortunately, that's just something that like now I have to kind of cope with, and that's a hard pill to swallow.
I just can't. I just the lies. Talking to some expert that your mom knew she was culpable of some illness that she was never diagnosed with. And now you've bludgeoned her to death and you want to like paint her constantly as this horrible person.
Do you feel the need to defend your mom?
Beginning, I did. In the beginning, I kind of was like, I had just got arrested, and I didn't want my mom's memory tarnished. I was
Mm.
still in this kind of I hate her, I love her frame of mind. So it was like I didn't
I thought you were fearing for your life.
want people to look at her like a bad mom because I'm like, there's nothing left of her.
I thought you were fearing for your life. We don't ever get that story. You ever realize that, you guys? We never hear that actual story that she comes up with in that book, you know? That would be the trauma. That would be look, I love my mom, but my mom was ill and she was going to cut my throat. And you would say that over and over again because when something's a trauma, it's in your mind a lot and you need to talk about it a lot. Okay? It's the way your mind and your spirit and your emotion, it's the way you heal. That's why you go to a therapist to talk about things, all right? It's why sometimes if you guys have ever gone through any kind of a trauma or even a bad breakup, even a bad romantic breakup, you are constantly talking to your friends about it to the point sometimes where you think about yourself and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm still talking about you're embarrassed for yourself sometimes. I can't believe I'm still talking about this. And yet Gypsy never talks about her mom that way. It's always in these vague terms, and then she's like regurgitating what she's read or heard from people online about Munchausen by proxy. But she never you never feel like you're getting the truth. And that's why people don't like you, Gypsy, because we know we're not getting the truth.
But a memory. You know, at the end of it all, there's nothing left but our reputation, our legacy, and what is hers. So it's like I don't like it when people call her a bad person. I'm not gonna say she was a perfect person, she wasn't. But I also
You're the one that's doing the most damage to her legacy. You are. No one else is talking about her. Only you. People ask you about her, like this idiot Tori Spelling on this ridiculous podcast. But no, the only person really talking about your mom is you.
it's not their place, and they didn't go what I went through to talk about my mom. Does that make sense?
100%, because everyone has an opinion, and when it's your own human,
Yeah.
you feel the need to defend on any level. I mean, obviously, what you went through is extreme, but everyone, like, I think personally, if someone like talks shit about your family member, you're like, no, wait.
No, that's my
I can
place.
feel that way because I go through it, I've been through
Yes.
it, but
Yes.
it's like off limits.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to pause here just for a moment. Just for a moment.
Definitely. Did you, obviously you're on text and everything, did you ever look up online symptoms of what your mom had
I didn't because
while she was still alive?
no, I didn't because it's like I thought my mom was like literally just, I just thought that she was just that way. I tossed it up like she's a controlling helicopter bad mom that, it's just so controlling. So I didn't really know that there was a diagnosis for it. And then that other moms and other caregivers and other parents have this. I didn't know it was a thing.
Gypsy's expert. I want to wrap this up with this.
I raped a girl and the girl's dead too. Well, those all were actually posted by Gypsy.
Story.
This is the so-called Munchausen by proxy expert. The audio's a little low. You might have to turn it up. But listen to what he says.
Startlingly, it was Gypsy who went online to announce, that bitch is dead. And to go even further and describe a scenario where she was raped is just perverse. It implies a fair degree of sociopathy.
It implies a fair degree of sociopathy. That's your expert, Gypsy. He's calling you a sociopath, not me. Dr. Mark Feldman, a forensic psychiatrist who you like to quote as saying he's the guy that said your mom had Munchausen.
Just the way the girl acted. I mean, how
This is Nick's mom.
can you do something to your mother or lose your mother and just act like that? I was like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it.
I mean, they acted like two normal people. Yeah. You know, that's
And that was located in
Well, that was part one of the interview. Tori, obviously, it's not going well. She's trying to find people to interview. She saw that Gypsy had a whole bunch of followers on TikTok. Like I said, she only has 300,000. She's got like over 1 million, I think, on Instagram. Tori Spelling does, but you know, she's looking to make money. She had this terrible divorce, and yeah, so she's decided to slide into Gypsy's DMs. She said in the beginning of the interview, and you know, try to catch the wave of Gypsy's infamy and turn that into some notoriety for herself, hopefully trying to get more followers and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just, what can you say? What can you say? Well, that's going to wrap it up for Becca Scoops for today. I don't know if I'll do a part 2. We'll see what they say on that, the next podcast, and I might be back. Or I was thinking about doing a live possibly tomorrow night. So if I do the live, which I'm tentatively counting on doing, we'll go ahead and talk about the part 2 during the live. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. If you got this far, please like and share. Consider becoming a Becca Scoops member, and I'll catch you guys next time.